welcome to our weekly show. It's the Triple Clowns. It's me, G. Brandon Johnson, alongside the beautiful Sarah Marie, Mrs. Big News, and the truck stop burrito, AJ Ryder. And we're going to give you the recap from this weekend's steak races, some news, and something to talk about. All right, so let's start right off, guys.
Let's get straight into it. No banter, nothing. Let's just go.
Let's just go. Let's go into it.
All right. There's not a whole lot going on with the news, except for a couple horses that we want to bring up. Charlatan is officially retired. He's being retired to Hillendale Farms. No stud feed has been set yet, but that will be announced later once, obviously, it has been set.
Yeah, Charlatan always kind of getting a little bit hurt a lot. Yeah, that makes sense. But injury prone horse.
That's a better word.
Injuries before this horse started running, like I told you about. I don't know how many people knew that, but I think like 3 surgeries before this horse started running. So one of those horses, like it's a good football reference to that.
What like a 2-year-old?
Well, not a 2-year-old football player. Yeah, as a 2-year-old had before.
Well, obviously, we're talking about Charlatan, not a football player. So
yeah, well, we don't know. Some football players might have been injured when they were 2. We just don't know about that.
I think a lot of them might mentally be 2.
It's true.
Wow. Shots fired.
But yeah, before Charlatan ever raced was an injured horse. So who knows the potential would have had. Let's face it, probably one of the fastest horses in the country. Just couldn't stand a racetrack.
Well, I mean that's a horse too. You'd pay a pretty significant stud fee for that horse.
Yeah, I mean,
that was a
specimen.
Yeah.
Well, in his short career, he earned $4 some odd million.
Yeah, pretty good for winning like 5 races.
I'd much rather have my horse breed with Charlatan than like Tis the Law. So,
Well, yeah.
I mean, yeah, when you think about it, I mean, look at horses like Into Mischief. Into Mischief wasn't the world beater. You know what I mean? You really don't know how good they're going to be till like their first 2 crops come out.
mm-hmm.
You just don't know. So some really good ones that don't have great horses.
And speaking of first 2 crops come out, didn't Arrogant just had a baby run and did not do well.
I know.
Yeah, they're just coming out though. That was like his first one. Right?
That was the first one. Yeah, I think ever.
One to hit the track. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he won't have any more, obviously. Well, no, he'll have other ones run, but I mean, one crop, one.
It would just be one crop. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a shame, because hopefully a couple of them are good to keep that line going. But
it'd be nice.
Yeah,
it would be nice.
Name a great horse from Secretariat. Like 2 stakes winners, I think. Like grade 3s, I think. Ever, something like that. It's crazy.
Even Zenyatta couldn't produce.
Yeah, but that's a mother. That's different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
it is.
No one likes moms around here.
Yeah, everybody.
No, the sire's way heavier than a dam, and also you don't have 200 kids a year. You have 1. Right. It's a little harder.
Touche.
It's just a numbers game at that point.
Yeah, exactly. All right, the next horse I want to talk about is Life is Good. He is back. Practicing the track at Keeneland, and then he's going to be shipping to Pletcher's Barn in New York. So keep an eye out for Life is Good to hit the New York circuit. They're thinking later this year.
Yeah, well, I mean, Saratoga up their purses. California still hasn't done that yet, needs to. Delmar's got big purses too, but San Diego's got to really step it up and increase these purses, because why not? You have a horse that good. Obviously, you're taking him out of Baffert's hands. It's a WinStar thing, I believe. I think WinStar's really pushing away from Baffert. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know. If I had a super horse, it wouldn't be in New York just because of the conditions.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want my horse running at Aqueduct in the cold. I guess he probably won't. He's probably a horse that's just going to show up once in a while.
Well, would you rather have it run at Aqueduct in the cold or Santa Anita in 3-horse fields? I mean, especially too, because it's not like Aqueduct has like great runners.
Well, it's even training.
I feel like you would be
training in the winter, training in the rain. You miss training. You don't get as good a trainer. I mean, it's New York. I mean, you can't train every day. You can't here.
So you'd rather go. So what? Kentucky then?
Kentucky would be good, but once again, I mean, California is the best to put your horse. That's why a lot of good horses come to California usually.
Yeah, but what can you guarantee about California in 2 years?
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
you
not
can't get, you
going
can't.
any-
I mean,
I don't think it's going anywhere. I mean,
I don't think it is either. But I mean,
They
when
need to
you're
start
talking,
making
about the place that's under the most scrutiny in this sport.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to have your horse run at
well, I
Santa
think New
Anita
York's right
when
there with California when it comes to that. I mean, I don't see any difference in New York or California.
I feel like California's under
New
much
York was
more
behind
scrutiny than New York is.
California. Iowa was worse than they just.
Statistically, yes, but I mean, as far as like what PETA and everyone's coming after, I think
Oh, yeah.
I think California is under much more question than New York is.
Yeah. But I mean, but New York's acting like California a lot. You know, that's what I'm saying. They're
Yeah.
kind of doing it, and Jersey's just off on another planet.
Monmouth is something else.
Yeah, but
Which,
yeah, it's really hard.
Yeah, but no one at Belmont goes to Monmouth. Well, I mean,
as
do.
they shouldn't.
But
No,
they,
they do.
I mean, they go. Well, they go to like Finger Lakes and
they go to Monmouth is pretty close. Actually, it's like
Well, it is, but
hour and a
you've
half.
got Saratoga, Aqueduct, Belmont, and then if you don't go to one of those three, you go to Finger Lakes.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
it's not like Monmouth's like you have to go there. And Monmouth is, I don't know, it's kind
for New
of
Jersey people and for some New Yorkers, it is. It's kind of, well, a lot of New Yorkers are from Jersey.
not the trainers though. That's what I'm saying.
No,
Your
no.
horses. Yeah, like if you don't want to go to Monmouth, you don't have to.
No,
Yeah.
you go to Monmouth when the competition's a little too high at Saratoga.
Right.
That's what you usually do. But anyway, we'll get into that a little bit more on that topic a little bit later because I'm going to bring that up for a talking point.
Okay. So I feel like we should save that then. Then let's just get into recapping the races.
Mm,
All right.
We had a big
I guess.
closeout day of Churchill Downs on Saturday, who had 7 stakes races on the card. We had Jose Ortiz bring 2 horses to win 2 guaranteed spots within the Breeders' Cup. Starting off with race 5, which was the Fleur de Lis, where Latruska handridden to the finish line, won by 5 lengths. That horse is just incredible. That horse was followed by Antoinette and Evutant.
Antoinette's trying hard from second. On Futon's trying to put in a late run from third. Volta's down inside fourth. Point of Honor's in fifth. There's 1 furlong to go. Latruska switch leads right at the 8th pole. She's clear by 6. Antoinette, on Futon, Point of Honor, all chasing Latruska. Latruska looking good. Cruises under the wire. Effortless in the end. 5 lengths to the good of Antoinette on Futon.
I think we need to settle down on Latruska a little bit.
That was a public workout.
I'm
I
going
mean,
to say
that-
yes,
that
very
was-
much so. And then when you look, and I was looking at her lines today, never ran a big number. Consistent numbers, not big. Not like we're talking like she can go to classic. She get her head trumped in.
Yeah,
Um,
but she destroyed the
she's
shit.
been
out of
bad.
Monomoy
I mean,
Girl and
it's
Swiss
just that-
Skydiver, who are the best 2 females out there right now.
Yeah, but okay, Monomoy Girl beat
I mean, she's
Monomoy.
the best female there is right now.
Well, okay, beat Monomoy Girl by a nostril, and Monomoy Girl, Florent Drew took the race off coming home, and also jumped twice in the stretch and won by a nostril. So let's just,
make excuses for her. Okay.
well, that's fine. It's true.
Okay.
It's true.
Yeah,
If you
okay.
watch the race,
That was a weird
it's a
race,
fact.
yeah.
She jumped 2 shadows and got beat
I
by a
mean,
nostril.
And these fractions
Not-
weren't terribly.
Not taking.
Wow.
anything
Well, I
away
mean,
from
yeah,
Latruska,
because
but
she didn't need to set.
I'm not taking
fast
anything
track.
away
It
from
was
her.
a
I'm
shit
more.
field.
She just went to the lead and that was it.
I'm more
Yeah.
going. I'm more going after this crop of awful older females right now.
Females.
It's they're not good. I mean, they're not good because I'm looking at the numbers, and Latruska's not putting any numbers off the page. Like 111s are higher.
Well, but look though, okay, so
you got beat by She Dares
okay,
the
you-
Devil. That's not a
you-
horse that would win against boys ever.
She does that pretty good.
She's in an
Okay,
act
so-
too.
I'm sure.
Okay, but here's the thing: is you're going to get your opportunity to critique this horse later on because with our boy Ed DeRosa, the trainer did say that going against the guys is going to be something coming up in the future with Latruska.
She'll be
this-
stupid. She will
That,
not
no,
win.
that did you see the post?
Yeah, I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, that he said that was probably going to be something they
Yeah, this isn't Rachel Alexandra. It's not Zenyatta. It's not even Monomoy Girl at her best game.
she's-
Not right now.
She's good, but I don't.
She's
think,
very good. I just think that
you could. I don't think she'd perform
again. Well, you're
Um,
about to find out.
against male. Yeah, we'll find out. It'll be really interesting, and I'm glad that they're choosing that because that's what people want to see because that really will then show what kind of horse Latruska is.
let's see what male open class she enters as well. Let's see what it is. I mean, are you going to aim for the classic? Because we'll get into the horse. that
You
would-
used to be so woke as of last weekend. Now you're the biggest.
Now you're
sex-
not so woke.
I'm not. I just think.
Yeah,
I'm just-
you were so woke
we're
last
talking
week,
this
and then all of a
horse is
sudden
like-
this week,
that great where I'm like, who's this horse beat besides Monomoy Girl in a really bad race? And Monomoy Girl obviously wasn't all there.
And Swiss Skydiver, who beat boys.
Yeah, but Swiss Skydiver is.
Oh, yeah. So you're just going to keep making excuses for the horse she's beaten every single time.
Swiss Skydiver also got
that's fine.
destroyed by
That's
Monomoy
fine.
Girl. I mean.
Yeah, and she also beat Authentic,
Yeah.
who won Horse of the Year.
Authentic was.
Oh yeah, make excuses
Fascinated
now.
with
You just keep making
Oh, my
excuses for the horse that she
Okay,
beat.
let's go on. Let's go on. Then make a bet with me. Make a bet with me. Latruska beats the boys. Bet with me. Bet with me.
I bet she
wins the
beats some
class.
boys if she runs in a race with the boys.
Well, okay, some boys.
She's not finishing last.
Well, yeah, I don't see her finishing last, but I don't know.
Good, man,
Is she
the
going
race
to
is.
finish first? Against.
I'm just saying her
Well,
numbers.
we'll see where she goes.
Yeah,
If
right.
she ran against Maxfield
think-
yesterday, she would have got beat by 20.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, Maxfield's yeah.
Well,
Well, that's who you're going to be running
Fine,
against.
fine.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I
We'll
don't
see.
know.
When
You
this
don't know
race happens, we're gonna have a bet go on between the two of you.
I will.
And we'll
I mean,
see
I
how
will
it
be
plays
the
out. I
Phillies
think it'll
supporter.
be.
I may
All right.
lose.
I mean,
I'm
listen, that
just-
horse is an even money horse every race for the last 10 races. I mean, deserves it. She's running great. I think that's a bad move going against the boys, quite honestly. I think she could just dominate. I think scare me.
Well, okay. So
Dominate against the girls. Why
Well,
not?
Just stay.
okay, but then you've got the assholes like you out there who's like, well, why don't you go against the boys? Well, because I can.
No, I didn't
dominate
say
the girls.
why. I just said you can't start saying it's kind of like when you say Gimmy's the best sprinter in the country.
Well,
When you
yeah,
roll both
because
boys, it's not true.
because I'm an alcoholic who just makes over exaggerations about fucking everything, dude.
No, I'm not saying.
And I'm not saying
you.
I'm not saying
you.
I'm not saying that,
I'm
that
saying when you
every,
hear
every
that.
female is going to beat guys. What I'm saying is you have to horse a filly at the top of her game. Why not try it once? Like,
Yeah.
oh, she loses. Okay, cool. She goes back
Yeah.
and she goes
She's
to
a
the
man.
distaff and she kicks ass in distaff. She's the
Yeah.
best female of the year.
I agree.
Like,
I agree. Why
yeah,
not try?
why
her
not
against
try
the
it?
males?
Oh, try her against me because
Yeah.
because
But
here's
just
the thing.
just see.
Yeah, but that's not the psyche sometimes of a horse. They don't come back from that.
I get that. Yeah, because then it could for like the Breeders' Cup distaff.
It's
even,
not
it
always good
could
for a horse to
trigger-
get beat up because they
I get
get
what
beat
you're
up in
saying.
those races against the boys.
We've seen that
sometimes.
before.
Yeah.
We've seen, well, not even just like
Well, we saw it with,
Mares
for
versus-
example,
Yeah, okay, but okay.
Who's the sprinter? Wait, no,
all
who's
right.
the sprinter?
Okay. So I get what you're saying, but when you've got a horse that's running at the top of the division, at the top of her game,
Mhm.
and you want to be in that horse of the year contendership or whatever you want
You
to
can
do,
still do
'cause
it if you
you
want to do it.
obviously want it should still be the filly or mare of the year. But what I'm saying is, give it one shot. If she loses, she's lost races before, she's 15 for 20, I believe.
yeah,
Like she'll be okay after that.
yeah, but I don't know this. I'm pretty sure
You might have to take a little bit longer off afterwards. But I don't.
Frank's Rocket did that and never was quite the same.
well, and to Randy's point, like Latruska is such on a winning high right now that it could be a gamble of put her against the male, she loses, and then pulls a Frank's Rocket, and
I
then
think you have to
then to
because
become the distaff, she's just not
you could go
fair.
undefeated. You go undefeated this
It's a
year, and then
gamble.
people are going to constantly say to you, "Well, you never ran against the boys."
Well, I mean,
That's
everybody-
always going to be the knock. So who cares what you have at year's end? I mean, when you've got a horse that's
you
running
can
at
still
the
win
top of
horse
her game,
the year, and you can just be females and be horse of the year. I
yeah,
mean,
but then it's like, oh well, you won, but who did you play?
well, I mean,
It's always
that's
the
all- but that's-
conversation that has.
But that's horse
You know, it
racing in
seems like that.
general, where when you look at it, I mean, there are always going to be those people that say, if you say something like Zenyatta always had that, where, okay, well, you ran like one race off synthetic, where apparently the trainer said Zenyatta hated synthetic, which is really odd because she won all races.
It is the
And
thing.
Rachel Alexandra, or you never faced Rachel. You weren't even the best filly. You're always going to have that, no matter what. It's always going to be Justify never ran against American Pharaoh. You're always going to have it. I think you pick and choose. If I'm them, I don't know the psyche of the horse. Some horses don't bounce back well. Some horses can get beat up and come back stronger. Some horses, I mean, it's not about just getting beat. When they go against the boys, it takes a lot out of them. Just number one, keeping up the pace.
That's what I'm saying. You have a lot of time between
And
now
you
and
get banged
November.
around.
You get a lot of time between now and November. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the.
you're gonna take a
psyche-
shot. Take a shot.
Yeah.
And it sounds like
sounds
he's
like
going
it's
to
something
do
he
that.
wants to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would
Whether-
baby step her if it was me. I would be like, I'm just going to dominate and go and win the distaff and screw off. And just because I don't want to shake the pot, because I want to win the Breeders'
It
Cup.
is too, but also when you're the owners of that horse and you've got a filly, and I don't know who the owners are to be honest, I mean, why? Okay, so if I'm in that situation, if I'm in those shoes and I have this horse who's at the top of her game, I'm not sending her to the Classic,
Yeah.
but I'd let her run against the boys one time before
As a
this.
fan, I do want her to face them. I think she'd be over her head. Well, I just think she'd be over Bet. I don't think
It all depends. It all depends too on what race she's going to.
Yeah.
I mean, if she's in a race with some shitty guys, okay. Well,
Yeah, if
then,
she ran to Stephen Foster yesterday,
No shot.
she's not on the board.
yeah, I would. Yeah, I'm not sending her up against Maxfield.
She needs more of like
Well,
a
like,
Max
I'm
Player
not-
kind of
yeah.
horse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'd send her up against Max
But
Player.
that's the only
That
races
horse
she's
is awful.
gonna go in. I mean, they're
Yeah.
gonna be stakes races. There's
I
gonna be a
know.
stud in these
There
races.
is, but
I feel like-
but you could throw in a grade 2 with not great colts in there, not great.
Yeah, I'm just saying her numbers haven't jumped off the page. How we're making her out like she's,
But they've been solidly.
or Zenyatta,
pretty
or even Monomoy Girl at the time. Monomoy Girl was dominant. They're not. They're very consistently good.
I'm saying there's a class of guys out there that she can compete with.
Sure.
There
If
is.
she's gonna
of course, you can
compete
beat
with,
a lot of guys out there.
if
Yeah.
she's not gonna like Mac. Yeah, you're right. Maxfield. No, I did see something where, I don't know if it was a buyer's or time for him that she had a higher
Did she yesterday?
speed. Yeah.
Yesterday?
Then one of them. I think it was buyers. Time for him. I think Max with higher, but buyers maybe not.
Yeah.
Or they were very close, like very too close. That it
Yeah.
didn't seem right because she didn't. It wasn't even her best race that she's ran all
No,
year.
and she wasn't asked.
And-
It wasn't- yeah. I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
she
yeah,
didn't
that's
have
all
to.
I'm saying. It's like her numbers really don't. And I was surprised because watching her visually, and then I looked at the times and I looked at everything, and I was just like, then I looked at the horses she beat, and I was like, this is a crop of people that just beat each other.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I mean, you have good horses in Bonnie South. You have
Oh,
good-
like
There's the
this was
devil.
not the best race she's ran all year by far.
well, I mean, she
No.
had to.
Like,
though.
Yeah.
But she was not asked.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. She didn't have to.
Ran against
Yeah.
a shit field,
Yeah.
which isn't her fault. I mean, it's the closing day at Churchill. Like,
No, they
this
really
is what you
need
got.
Swi-
And they
need
wanted to win
Swi-
and you're in.
They
and it
need
was
Swiss
basically
back.
guaranteed for her.
They need Swiss back, and they need Monomoy Girl back.
I would be
Now's a
more
nice
forward to
spot.
seeing Swiss run one of her better races against Latrushka running her better race and see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
Because
weird.
obviously we know Swiss can lay an egg quite a bit.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing
She
with
has.
Swiss and Monomoy Girl on her top of her game. I don't think anybody's going to beat her, but she might not be there anymore. It's what it is,
I know. I do wonder what's going on with her.
But yeah, so no, I'm just interested. But that's all I wanted to bring up. That is, I didn't know that though about.
Yeah, but
going
yeah,
to the
that
woods.
was the interview with Ed afterwards. It did
Well, how
sound
much
like
can we
it
trust the guy who
is-
tells bad jokes?
Yeah, I mean,
I
well,
trust him a lot. He is.
it wasn't
awesome
Ed.
dad
It wasn't Ed that said that. It was her trainer.
Oh, to Ed.
Well,
Okay, okay, now I believe it. If it
Yeah.
was Ed, I'm just
It
kidding.
wasn't Ed that said that. But
yeah.
No, okay, no, interesting though.
it does seem like they're going to take that shot and see what
It'll be
happens.
Good for
interesting to
them.
see
And
what
hey,
they do
maybe-
next.
Hey, listen, I vote for the girl to win. I just don't.
Because he did say too, it was only off 3 weeks rest that she ran this one.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the big concern going into this one. He said, well, she can do this. And
Yeah, maybe. Well, the
Yeah,
trainer would
but
know if
yeah.
she's tough enough or not. Like you
Yeah.
said, she's lost before. I just would hate to see her get mentally or
like,
physically.
I see that wouldn't be a big concern to me. Like, again, this horse has lost before to girls
Well,
and still
It's-
came back. And then, it's 15-20 all time.
yeah.
Not like,
Psychologically,
Well,
though, they get beat up a little bit when they race against the boys. The boys bang around. They're bigger. They're heavier than her. I don't know if she's a big horse or not. Probably not. They're usually not.
she's a
as
big horse. She's not a
big.
small girl.
No,
Not a small girl.
but yeah, somebody's small that's in that field. The Swiss, somebody's small. Monomoy's big too.
Yeah, Monomoy's a big girl.
Oh, all right, let's move
All
on.
right, let's move on to race 9, which is the start of our late pick 4 that we gave out on our pick show, in which Rich, he played his picks, he hit it.
He did. He had a chance of losing money in
He
the
did.
last race with a $40 pick 3, but I think he ended up paying $120 for him, I believe. So good for
Yeah.
you, Rich.
So
Yeah.
let's start off with the grade 3 Bashford Manor Stakes, where Double Thunder won, followed by Vodka and Water and Glacial, and Double Thunder went from first to last to win by 4 lengths. It was
Yeah.
quite an impressive race that he pulled off.
Outside for the final quarter mile. They're off the turn. They're into the stretch. Lands down toward the rail. Glacial right there. Knocker down with a shot. Vodka and Water down the center of the track. And from last, Double Thunder's weaving through the pack. Switched outside. Here comes Double Thunder. Double Thunder takes over the lead. Glacial fights on. So too does Knocker down. Vodka and Water. They're coming down to the finish. And from last to first, it's Double Thunder.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't play Double Thunder again in that race, even though the horse was 4-1, because that speed set up that horse perfect. That would never happen again. That was idiotic of those horses to go out to a 21 and whatever.
Yeah.
And a horse was going to come from last.
It was after watching that race, and because I had 2 and 3 in that race, and I only played the two of those horses, and I was just like, well, fuck the rest of this whole thing.
Yeah, well,
I knew I was set up from then. I didn't play from there on out because I knew I was screwed.
yeah. Well, you know what? I would have been mad I didn't play a horse that went off 4-1 usually, but I wasn't because, well, I was obviously, but
Yeah.
like I said, I wouldn't again because the horse just, sometimes you need a perfect setup. That's what I was like, this horse can only win with a perfect setup. He got
He
it.
proved it.
He got it. He got the perfect setup and he won the race. Good for him. But that was just, they're 2-year-olds. That's why you stay away from those
That's a
races.
gamble with 2-year-olds. Yeah.
But they went out to a 20.
You gotta watch those and prepare
Like a
yourself.
21
for
and
when
1
they're 3-year-olds.
opening quarter. It was like, okay, what are you guys doing up there? Like that was just, if you told me who's going to win the race, I would have been the horse in last. And sure enough, the horse in last won.
Yeah.
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 Let's
That's
move on
life.
to race 10, the grade 2 Wise Dan, where we had another horse go from last to first set piece, followed by Some Like It Hot Brown and Ride a Comet.
The turn, Super Soul is there. Set pieces weaving through the pack, picking off horses in behind. There's 5 lengths to make up there. Racing for the 8th pole. Some Like It Hot Brown still in front by 2. Set piece dives down toward the hedge. Here comes Set piece riding up the inside. Some Like It Hot Brown has to fend off Set piece. Set piece from last to first, weaving to victory.
Set piece is a monster.
That move that set piece made to tuck along the hedge there and ride along that set him up perfectly. He's
Now
a
that
monster.
was the horse who did run the biggest time form figure of the day, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And broke last, right? And
Some Like It Hot Brown proved Randy and I correct, saying he just can't do multiple wins back to back.
you can't string them
You can't
together.
string 'em.
That's for sure. I mean,
It's
but
so sad because it's such a good horse.
well, yeah, and you know what? If there wasn't a monster in the race, he would have won back to back. So let's not. I don't think he would have ran. I think he would. If that horse is in the race, I don't think he would have not won. Let's just make that clear.
Well,
that's
yeah,
back to
but
back.
but at the same time,
I
it's like
think he might have ran one of his. I'm not saying his best race, but a really good race for him. He's got beat by a better horse that day. But yeah, that was. I mean, you could have really easily singled that race and the next race and
Yeah.
hit this pretty easily. I mean, you could have went all and spent like $16 or whatever. I mean,
You really could.
those are really easy.
And on my notes that I wrote when we were doing our pick show, I had made notes that race 10 and 11 were singles. If that's how you're going to play them, then yeah, you could have easily played all single, all.
Yeah, which probably would have been like $30.
Yeah, it would have been a cheap ticket. But speaking of the next race, race 11, we had the Stephen Foster, which was a win and you're in for the Classic, where Max Field just destroyed that field.
Pressure back in third with Empty Tomb. South Bend coming with a run switched outside for the final furlong. And at the 8th pole, it is Maxfield doing it easily by 3. Sprawls trying hard back in second. Warriors Charge running a good race up into third. The rest are struggling. And Maxfield fought off all challengers easily to win the Foster. Glides under the wire, winning it by 3.
He was handridden. Another win by Jose. He won by 3 lengths, followed by Warriors Charge and Sprawl.
I'm going to be like the people that were writing about Hot Rod Charlie right now. Warriors Charge ran a hell of a race. I was very impressed by that horse. It was supposed to go to the lead, didn't break, got like sandwiched and bumped around.
Yeah.
It came like closing at the end.
Yeah.
That was pretty impressive. I'm not giving Maxfield any credit. I'm going to give the horse in
Yeah.
second all the credit. It seemed
Why
like a
would
trend.
you give Maxfield any credit whatsoever?
No, Maxfield looked
I
great.
know. And let's move on to the last race of this season's Churchill. We had the race 12, the Tepin Stakes, where Navratilova won that, followed by Toby's Heart and New Boss. and that Navratilova wired the field. New Boss really tried to hold off Toby's Heart, but just couldn't.
The public knew it. The public bet that horse down a lot. I
Yeah.
noticed. Navratilova, good horse.
3 wide. Toby's Heart comes 4 wide off the turn. Fairchild adventuring in behind. Then it's Arm Candy and Town Avenger. Invincible Gal's been switched outside. 5 lengths to make up and 1 furlong to go. New Boss on the outside of Navratilova. Toby's Heart trying to get by them. These 3 with a 16th left. Navratilova digs down deep. New Boss tries to get by with Toby's Heart, but Navratilova goes coast to coast.
Navratilova out of center court. Fun name.
He brought that up on our pick
I
show
know.
too.
I just think that's funny.
Oh, real quick too, you did put up my picks that I picked Maxfield and Necker Island. I did not pick Necker Island.
You picked somebody else
No.
though, wasn't it?
I picked Chess Chef.
Best Chief.
Chef Chief. Yeah.
Chess Chief, yeah, whatever. The
See, you
one.
could not save that horse. Say that
Yeah.
horse's name.
Um,
Oh yeah, I did screw that up.
Yep. And just so everyone knows, I didn't pick Necker Island because he sucked.
No,
I
but you
picked,
picked the one-
I picked the other horse that he sucked.
Picking one behind him.
The other crappy horse.
You put the
So
one in last. You put the one in last, not second to last. Let's
Yeah.
get this
But I
right.
did pick the winner, so who cares?
yeah. So that was quite an exciting closing day for Churchill. They really had
Yeah, it
a
was a
really
good-
amazing
good
card.
time.
So we'll be excited to go back to Churchill come September.
Absolutely. And that's it. That's our
Yeah,
wrap up.
that's
Okay.
it. That's the wrap up.
I'm gonna give everybody some food for thought. This is Triple Clown's food for thought today.
Oh, we do.
And I want everybody to think about this because we'll
Mhm.
talk about it. Obviously, we need a governing body in horse racing. I mean, this is ridiculous what's going on right now. There's some states you can do this, but you can't do that in another state, this and that. There's tracks that are suspending trainers in one track, but you can race down the street in another track. There's this, Naira's doing their thing with their monopolization of the big tracks in New York. Well, what I'm getting at is governing body. Who do you people think? I want to know people's opinion on who would be the best person to run the governing body.
So I think I'm excited to see. what
Okay,
people
so
do.
we've talked about this governing body thing before, and I doubt you're going to get a commissioner like you have in all the other major sports in the country.
Well, probably not, but
You're
it's
going to get a board.
it's fun to, but it's fun.
You're going
have.
to get. I think.
You're not going to get anybody.
Well, here's this is kind of my thought. You've got Churchill, you've got Stronach, you've got all the other racetrack big conglomerates that own these tracks, right? I would think if you had a board that consists of, well, Stronach has got a shit ton of tracks. We send 3 representatives. Churchill's got a shit ton of tracks. We send 3 representatives. Everyone else sends 1 or 2. And you've got a board now consisting of all of the ownership of these individual tracks to make the decisions of these tracks nationwide.
But they always have.
I think
There's always a CEO. There's never just a board.
that's what I'm saying. That's why it's a whole other organization you have to create.
Yeah.
But I'm saying is you give, like, it's like, the House of Representatives where, well, this state's this big, you get this many representatives. This state's this big, you get this many representatives. Stronach gets this many representatives. Churchill gets this many representatives, and the ownership of these tracks get these representatives, and we create a unified set of rules for the sport of horse racing.
Yeah.
Because that's not how it's going to have to be. The government gets involved, it's going to be bullshit. I mean, you get all these other outside factors involved, and it's going to be bullshit. That's why if you want to be able to run at Santa Anita and then go to Churchill for the Kentucky Derby and then the Breeders' Cup at Del Mar or Santa Anita, wherever it's at that year, you have to have all these individual corporations involved in the unifying set of rules.
Well, I
Otherwise,
mean, it's just like the NFL. It's
and
the
you have to have the
owners.
states involved too, because each state has got its own.
It's the own, but it's the
Mhm.
owners in a sport. I mean, it's the same thing. All the owners.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is you have
The
to have
board.
the ownership involved.
Yeah.
Why the 32 NFL owners are the ones who vote on everything that goes.
Yeah, but they have a
Okay.
commissioner that regulates the rules, and that's my question: who would be
Right, but the commissioner is more. God,
And-
he's almost a
regulator.
glorified-
Do you
He's
think
almost a glorified spokesperson.
Well,
as
he
opposed
but he regulates
to the 32 NFL owners who have to vote and make
They
all.
set the
these
rules. He
individual-
makes
yeah.
sure the rules go through. I mean,
do
Exactly.
you think it would be beneficial for this industry to have a commissioner that is not a part of the industry? Meaning, like if it's
They can- well,
You'd
attorney-
never,
Own
you'd
a
never
board.
get someone who's not a part of it. It'd have to be voted on by the people who own the tracks.
yeah.
the same way the owners are going to vote who's in charge of the NFL.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, he's not appointed by the government. Roger Goodell didn't get his job because.
But no, I'm just asking.
The
because
NFL.
We've had that discussion
Yeah.
before. I
But
don't remember.
That's what I'm saying is,
on our
but
show
you
to
have to
have an
unify
outsider.
Stronach, Churchill, and the companies who own these tracks. You have to
Yeah.
unify
Well, that's
them
the thing.
first.
Well, the thing is, Naira and Churchill will never get along. Those people.
Probably
So
not.
And
it's never gonna
Churchill
happen.
and Stronach will never get along.
Churchill won't get along with anyone.
Yeah, Churchill just doesn't get along with anybody.
Uh,
Let's just leave it at that.
Bring
but
back
but
Arlington,
no, but the
assholes.
question is to everybody: if you could appoint a commissioner,
Who would it be?
who would it be? To be your commissioner.
Me.
If the fans got the vote for a commissioner. The sad thing is, like I said, it'll never happen because these people will never come together. I mean, they could have D1, D2 rules, basically. If you're a D2 track, you have different rules, but the D1 tracks have to have the same rules. I mean, it's what it is. You want to go on another one and be in a different circuit, you can be in a different circuit. I mean, it's arena football or whatever. You can do that, but you're not in our league.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
the sad thing
it's
is-
college football.
will never happen. Yeah, exactly. It's like a D1, D2 thing or D1,
D1s get scholarships and have all these rules. D2 doesn't. D3 doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I think want to know everybody out there what they think about that. Who would be your commissioner? And we'll talk about that next week on who we think would be the best commissioner. I'm going with Sarah.
I think that's a great idea. Get
I
2
say
votes for me.
Jeff Bezos.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, so
Or
yeah,
John McAfee. R.I.P.
All
John
right.
McAfee probably would have been an awesome commissioner. You guys know about John McAfee? That dude was a legend.
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci.
Good one. It's a little old now, though.
That's all right.
All right.
We'll have him and who else goes to San
Mel
Antonio?
Brooks.
Mel Brooks, yes. Joe
He's
Pesci,
very old
Mel
now.
Brooks. The board might be dead in like a year, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But all right, that was a good show, guys. But yeah, I do. Let us know in the comments below who you would pick for commissioner of the sport.
All right. So
It's got to be me.
for everybody out there, we'll be back. We're doing a live show with our picks
Maybe, who knows?
with
We might get canceled
Yo.
between now and then.
Degen Nation coming on. Shout out to Degen Nation. I have the new website up. Check it out.
Shut
Yes,
up.
and make sure you get signed up. Speaking of Monmouth, make sure you sign up for their event on July 3rd at Monmouth. Good to go. Swift Shoe CEO will be there. Dylan.
Sia the singer?
Yes.
Oh.
CEO or Sia, same thing.
Oh, CEO. Oh, okay.
No.
You
but
got me
Deacon's
excited. I love Sia.
doing a big event at Monmouth on July 3rd. So make sure you check that out on their website. You can, if you're in the area or plan to be, make your reservation there. And for us from the Triple Clowns at Degen Nation, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. And we'll see you later, everybody.